What's up, guys, and welcome back to my horror haul that I usually do every month, but I didn't do for the month of December, and I'm technically wrapping December and January together. Welcome back! This is Alex from Beyond the Void Horror Podcast, and we're going to jump into our horror haul for the month of December and January. Let's see what I got for my collection. So let's check it out. So yes, I'm sorry I have not been doing and keeping up with things like I mentioned in the last two videos here. But I got a pile of stuff over here that I want to talk about that I think you guys will be interested in and maybe you haven't heard of and might want to pick up yourself. Plus, we got some stuff that we're going to be giving away in this pile. If you ever want to sign up for our giveaways, all you have to do is go to longlivethevoid.com and check out our VIP club section. It's on the front page. It's on the VIP club page. You just fill out your information. So if you haven't signed up, do it. It lets you know whenever we put up a new episode every week and what new videos are out that you can watch on YouTube. So check it out, sign up. If you don't get anything free. First up, one of my favorites, Versus. Ryuhei Kitamura film, one of his earliest ones. I believe it was like his third one. I'm a big fan of Ryuhei Kitamura. I've been following him for a long time. This is the movie that really opened me up to him. This is essentially a movie that goes beyond the already awesome story of what it is, which is essentially Yakuza versus the living dead. And it is bloody, gory, funny. Characters are amazing, but it goes even further than that. You find out that there's a deeper story that takes over this entire story that is chocked full of fun and just a bunch of fun stuff in this one movie. Very much like a manga come to life on the screen, and Ryuhei Kitamura has not shied away from a lot of really interesting concepts. He's done movies like Alive, Heat After Dark, Origami, Azumi. Azumi was a manga, I believe, but that was a lot of fun, too. Plus, he did stuff like The Midnight Meat Train, No One Lives, and many, many more. He's still doing stuff, and he's even tackled Godzilla. He's done a lot of really great films, and this is definitely one of them. Arrow put this one out, and it has both of the versions of the original and the ultimate Versus that you can get loaded to the brim with all kinds of different behind the scenes. And this is a brand new 2K restoration. Now, I don't know. I thought the original was shot on video, but I could be wrong. It could have just been the quality in which they shared this with. But I'm pretty happy to get this. Comes with, the 2 discs. You even have a reversible if you like. That's not the one I remember as far as the cover goes, but it's still pretty cool. And I have the original, the old one that they had from DVD for like the longest time. I think it was Tokyo Shock, but I've got a lot of his movies, and it even comes with a little booklet in here that you can pick up. Pre-ordered this as soon as I heard about it because this is one of those movies that I've talked about multiple times, whether it be on the podcast or just with friends. People who know this movie know that this is a bloody good time. And it maybe will open you up to check out some of his other films that you might want to check out too. If you haven't picked this up and you haven't given this a shot and you like gore and you like samurai Japanese, anything like, fighting style with like a Yakuza sort of like vibe to it and sort of like the Yakuza way, like the game, then you might want to check this out. It's really cool. Up next, we got Ill Final Contagion. Now, this is a movie that I reviewed on this channel on YouTube. I do not like this cover, but it was really cheap. I think I got it for $8 after reviewing it, and I thought to myself, well, I'll pick it up. This is one of those anthology films from a lot of different directors who are from all over the world who come together to do some very exploitative, like extremely gory kind of stuff. But they're all based around one contagion, this thing called ill, that is a disease that's spread through money and people get sick in different ways. And each director is tasked with doing their own version of how this is affected. And to be able to get this for $8, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get it because it's got some pretty cool stuff in it, even if you don't like everything. So if you're into some of that gory sort of unearthed films kind of thing, you might get into this. It's not the goriest thing I've ever seen, but it's got some stuff in it. Up next, we got our $1.88 Big Lots buy that Christina picked up called Dead Souls. Other than the song that was remade by Nine Inch Nails, I'm not 100% sure. I think it was on the Crow soundtrack. I have no idea what this one is actually about. It says, Don't Go Home. Looks like a supernatural kind of film. I am not 100% sure what to think of this one, but you know, we take risks with these $1 to $2 buys that we get at Big Lots. They started marking these up because they were selling so many, and they're like, whoa, we're clearly giving away something that's valuable. So they started marking them up a little bit, but every now and then we go back and find stuff. Boom. We got a classic here. We got 2 copies, actually. They were $3 a piece. It's the ABCs of Death. Obviously, if you've never heard of this is another anthology that blew the doors off for a lot of people. They really enjoyed this, along with VHS. Both of those were coming out at around this time. And this has 26 directors, 26 ways to die from A to Z. Each letter consisting of a new director and a new story, whatever that letter may be. And we're going to be giving one of these away in our giveaway. And I'm keeping one because I never did pick them up. So I still need to get the second one of this, and I will eventually. But if you guys want to win a copy for yourself, we'll send that out to you. And if you win, good luck. Up next, we got Hackers, which Christina picked up at a Goodwill for $1 or something. But you know, for a time there was this was actually really hard to get a hold of, and just having this DVD copy would have been pretty priceless. To be honest, I don't really feel like I need to see this in Blu-ray, but maybe, I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while. But anyway, this is just old fun from the 90s, I believe. Yeah, 95. I remember seeing this in the theater. Crash and burn. It's about a couple of hackers who fall in love and try to stop the big global conspiracy tech companies who are trying to destroy the world. Same shit, different day. Up next, we got Death Proof. This is obviously one of the parts of the 2 for the Grindhouse movie, but this is the DVD. It's got a 2-disc special edition. Not a lot of people are fans of this, but I think if you watch it again, it's actually kind of cool to see sort of a serial killer behind the wheel. And some of the deaths and stuff in this are really, really pretty cool. Granted, some of the dialogue is a little lengthy and some people really don't like it. It's like, just shut up. But I'll tell you what, regardless of what people think, this has one of the most intense scenes of a person on the front hood of the car that I have ever seen. And I can't remember her name. She's a huge stunt person, but she's really charming in this movie, and she does a great job. So kudos to her. But yeah, we'll probably be giving this one away since we already have the Grindhouse Blu-ray copy. So up next, we got the marked ones, Paranormal Activity. I think this is like part 4 or 5. I can't remember. We have them all. But this one we already have and own, so we're going to be giving this one away. Pretty decent sequel to the whole thing. A lot of people thought it was obligatory. Still better than the Ghost House or the Ghost Dimension one, which was terrible. If you're a fan of, you know, found footage films like we are, this is actually kind of fun, and it deals with demons and shit like that. So I enjoyed it, and it has kind of a wraparound that kind of wraps it back into the entire franchise, which I thought was pretty cool. So have you seen this? Do you guys like this? I enjoy it. We'll be giving it away.
Hey, man, give me my back. Stop it! Stop!
Up next, we got Rampage Capital Punishment. Now, I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but I know Yul Bol wrote this and directed these movies, and this is one of many in a franchise. The very first one had Rampage. It was just Rampage. And it has the same guy acting in the film, which is Brendan Fletcher. The first film was shot totally improvised, and everything was done on the spot, which I think ended up being one of Yul Bol's best movies because of it. Maybe because he didn't have his hooks into it. I don't know. I've never seen the sequels, and after we've just seen the Capitol being stormed, maybe this is a great movie to watch. I don't know. You tell me. Maybe this is how you should have done it. I don't know. Maybe don't get any ideas. Anyway, This is one of the sequels. I'm not sure how many there are. There could be 3 or 4. Obviously, he knew he had a hit on his hand with the first one, but a hit is like a 6 or 7, you know, and then he made a bunch more. But yeah, I need to check this one out. I'd like to get them all just to have them. Because up next we got Jack Goes Home, and this is a Rory Culkin movie that is kind of interesting. I never did see this. I remember it coming out, but I didn't watch it. The Culkin brothers have been coming back out, you know, doing a lot of different stuff lately. Actually, they're all pretty talented if you ask me. So this one is about Jack Thurlow's world is turned upside down when his beloved father is killed in a brutal car accident. When he returns to his childhood home, Jack discovers nothing is what it seems, with devastating and terrifying results. I've not seen this. We got this at the Dollar Tree. You probably could see one there. Figure we give it a shot. Up next, we got D13U Ultimatum. Now, I can't remember, but this is one of those parkour action movies where they like skimped out on like actors and tried to pick people who were stuntmen who did acting a little bit. And some of this was actually pretty cool. The first one I remember was pretty cool. I don't know if this is the first one or not, but I remember it being pretty fun. And this is a magnet release, which you'll always see at the Dollar Tree for some reason. So keep your eye out. This isn't actually a bad movie. I would check it out if you're into action films. It's a little cheesy, but I think it's in French or something. I know they made a couple of these. I'm not even sure which one this one is. I figured we'd pick it up anyway, so we got it for $1. Have you seen this one? Is it one of the sequels? Is this the first one? I can't remember. Up next, we got Boo. Oh, fucking you've been chosen. I don't know what that means. From the producer of Insidious. I think I've seen another movie called Boo, so it's a little confusing. This one's with the exclamation point. One night, a struggling family's true test arrives. A strange Halloween game left on their doorstep that, as a legend has it, leaves a curse on those who choose not to play. Unfortunately, that's the choice they make, and evil spirits of all kinds are ready to make them pay. Picked it up for $1. Figured I'll give it a whirl. Have you seen it? Do you like it? Let me know, and maybe I'll review it on the channel. Up next, we got Krampus, the Christmas Devil, and I think this is a sequel, or this has a sequel. We just like cheesy kind of holiday horror kind of movies, so we figured we'd give it a shot. I think this might be made in Arizona or something, or maybe the first one was. I don't know. There was a whole mess of Krampus films that came out, so I'm not 100% sure which one this one is, but we'll give it a shot. Oh, and we got that one at the Dollar Tree for $1. Up next, we got Cloverfield, the original 4K HDR version, which, yeah, man, this actually looks pretty damn good on 4K. I mean, better than I've seen it. It's still a little fuzzy in some parts, but there was some stuff that I got to see way in the back that I was like, holy shit, I didn't even see it that clearly in the theater. So it was kind of nice to see this in HDR. I honestly prefer to watch only 4K movies in HDR if I can. Sometimes I'll, you know, do it if I can't, but, you know, like Color Out of Space is one of the ones that didn't have HDR, and that shocked the fucking shit out of me. This is a classic. This started the whole, what's the next one gonna be about? It kind of was the big budget found footage movie that everybody either loved or hated. I was in the loved category, and I always have enjoyed it. It has its wear. It has its moments of bad. It has its obvious moments of breaking the story, but it doesn't matter to me because this is an awesome movie. And if you can get into the King Kong, if you can get into Godzilla, and you can get into found footage, you got it all here. This is the shit. I enjoyed watching this again. Love it. What do you guys think? Up next, we got House of Wax, which is the Paris Hilton movie that I never did get to see. In fact, I think this came out around the time the Wax Mask came out. Which is that end of Fulci and Dario Argento production. I think this is like a remake of the original version from like 1950s or whatever. I never saw it. Thrills and chills ooze all over the House of Wax, the Dark Castle Entertainment, and legendary horror producers Joel Silver and Robert Zemeckis. When their car breaks down on a road trip, 6 college friends are sidetracked into an eerie woods back town. Curiosity gets the better of them when they are intrigued by its macabre House of Wax. They soon find out that the town is not what it seems, and they must find their way out before they fall victim to its ghoulishly inventive killers. This was the first movie that I think Paris Hilton was in. She was also in that other movie, it's like a musical. I can't remember, Or they're selling people's body parts or something like that. I can't remember. What do you guys think? Should I check this out? Should we give it a view? Is there an uncut version that I should see over this one? Let me know.
You're saying that that's a real person underneath?
Almost down to the bottom now. We only got like 3 or 4 more now. Up next, we got Synchronic, which this just came out. I did a video review of it on the channel. I really enjoyed this movie. If you're a fan of the guys who did Resolution or The Endless or even Spring, these guys have been on a roll like no independent filmmakers have ever been on a roll. Everybody has their ups and their downs, but these guys just keep swinging and knocking it out of the fucking park. And this movie is no exception. This is essentially about people who take a drug that makes them go in between dimensions of time. It's about this paramedic who keeps running into this drug everywhere he goes, and there's like a whole bunch of carnage left behind from this drug. It's a science fiction thriller more than anything, but it does have a few horrific moments in it that could be considered horror. But ultimately, a lot of people compared this to sort of like a long episode of like Twilight Zone. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done. And this is kind of showing that they got the chops to do big budget movies. As I hear the directors, because there's 2 of them that do this movie, they kind of switch roles on all the different movies they do, is Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. But they're working on Moon Knight, which is a Marvel property. I think this is the one that got him the job because it's a pretty big movie on an independent level. So if you like sci-fi, check this one out. Up next, we got Pulp Fiction, which is a classic. This is just a DVD special edition version, which is funny because Christina is not a fan of this movie, and she fucking bought this goddamn thing, which I think is pretty cool. I don't even actually own the Blu-ray of it. I think it's because I've just seen it so much, and it's always going to be around, one of those kind of things. And I think it was a good buy for a couple bucks, you know what I mean? So, you guys fans of this, or do you hate it like her? Up next, one of the greatest love stories I've ever... Oh, never mind. This is a Serbian film, which if you haven't listened to the episode this week, we watch in a wine pairing of movies with Irreversible, 2 extreme movies for the month of February. I'm currently dragging my girlfriend through some of the most extreme movies, this being one of them. This just came out on Unearthed Films with only 1 minute cut from this to get an NC-17 rating. This movie is notorious. It's been banned in 46 different countries. It is grotesque, disgusting. And if you want to know more, listen to the episode because we get in depth and talk about what happens in this movie. Am I a bad person for owning this? But this one was given to me by Plemke, so I kind of got like a scapegoat. Thanks, Plemke. And then last, definitely not least, one of the biggest disaster porn movies that you could ever watch that I love. Not exactly the goriest, but there's death in it. And that is 2012 on 4K. And this is HDR, baby. I know a lot of you guys probably thought of this movie. Maybe you never even saw it. Maybe you're just like, oh, it's one of those movies. No, give it another shot. Watch this almost 2 times recently because I love that movie so much. It is about the end of the world. We might as well fuck it all up anyway, since it's all going that way anyway. This has some of the best fucking CGI that you will ever find for porn disaster porn, that you'll ever want to watch. And it's cheesy and fun, and it's really entertaining. And it's actually not a bad film. I know a lot of people like to give it shit, but I think Roland Emmerich did a good job on this, and he's done quite a few other films that you're probably a fan of. So if you haven't seen it in a while and you want to watch it and you haven't picked it up for 4K, this looks absolutely stunning and I love it. So kudos to anybody that actually enjoys this movie with me. I don't give a fuck what you think. If you hate it, I love this movie. So does my girlfriend. People who didn't like it before, I've made fans of now. So check it out. See what you think. All right, guys. So that was it. That's my entire thing that I got for the month of December and January. And I'm sorry that it's late. At the end of this past month, I was like, oh God, I don't really have anything to show. Should I even do it? And I ended up getting more stuff in January, so we decided to just combine them. In fact, I think the first 2 movies I showed you were the ones I got in December. And that was it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed that, found some new movies that maybe you like. Is there anything in that list that you like or hate or would want to get yourself to? Let me know in the comment section down below. But other than that, thank you guys so much for stopping by. And as always, long live the void.